Hi, thanks for being there. Um, and happy upcoming Thanksgiving. My haven't had to use my own food that I bought a while back. I won't have to save it for Thanksgiving, so I've been eating it through the month of Thanksgiving for Americans in November. Because tomorrow the first batch of actual traditional fresh turkey dinner, not frozen or in a box, um, is coming tomorrow. I got 3 platters, so I can have some leftovers, plus have a platter on actual Thanksgiving Day. And then, I bought some more food today that my helper will be picking up from Walmart. She's coming later, but I'm filling in the time before she comes to tell you something else, and before she even gets here. Um, But there's a local mom and pop. Well, I told you already in a prior video what's going down about the traditional um, non-frozen meals that are coming through my door and might be coming through my door. Just check back. The title should help you find where those are and their most recent ones. But this one, I'd like to tell somebody that like me, or a single person, or a single disabled person like me, or I like to say differently abled. Nowadays I like that better than the other way to say it. It's more applicable to me, and it sounds nicer, kinder. So anyway, uh, what I'd like to tell you is I can't really lift a whole turkey. So what I started to do when I could cook off the ground, I'm on the ground right now, so I can't really cook. So I have to talk people through how to cook something if they don't already know how to cook it. So I thought maybe there's some subbies out there or other viewers, and if you're just viewing, please subscribe because it helps me out on my end of things or my side of things as far as YouTube goes. So please like, subscribe, share, and comment because YouTube looks at all that stuff. And please watch it, even if you have to put it on in the background while you're washing dishes or doing other chores, because they look at what people that listen all the way through too. Otherwise, I can't um, proceed or, in the process of trying to make a go at my channel, a successful go. So all those things that YouTube recommends, I gotta ask you if you'll please help me do all those things. And I won't do it all the time, and I haven't typed down other places, so I won't bombard you with asking every video. But anyway, please hear me out and do all the things if you can. You don't have to, but if you want to help me out, those are the things that YouTube looks for. Here we go with the subject matter of what I really want to talk about. If you can't lift a whole turkey safely into an oven, I can't at all, but I don't want to fall into a hot oven either. So that's another reason why I just started just doing drumsticks, because my arm strength level can handle that. And what I do, you don't have to do this, but if I cook it, I'd have to start with an unheated oven so I wouldn't accidentally fall into the oven. Because if I'm in a wheelchair or something, sometimes the cushions or the seat itself is slippery and I might just fall, and that would be falling into an oven with glass and heat. so I don't heat it up. And the reason I went to drumsticks is I don't want it to get too heavy. I can't lift heavy, so I just started cooking drumsticks. And dark meat is my favorite meat anyway. And if I would have people over, usually they like dark meat too. And if they don't, there's plenty of other things that they could eat. But I haven't been able to have people over for quite a while. But anyway, I'd like to, but I mean, to be able to cook for them. They've been over, but they just dropped things off or had a meal that they brought from a restaurant or something lately. So, anyway, what I do is get one of those easy foil, aluminum foil things, or things to put my turkey drumsticks in, and then I put the drumsticks inside a Reynolds roasting bag. And get it for the size of your turkey. Well, I'm just doing a drumstick recipe, so the size for the drumstick. And it puffs up while it's cooking, and it will touch the burners. So when you flip it over, make sure you pop it or make a hole in it, because the foil pan will catch the juices after you have to pop it. But to start with, keep it just closed up with the closing plastic tie that they give you. But then when you flip it over to do brown the other side and cook the other side a little more, then make a hole but make the hole in the top so maybe the juices will still stay mostly in the bag, because it will fall to the bottom, the juice will. But anyway, either way you're covered if it falls into the foil pan or it stays in the bag, mostly when you cut it, at the time when you flip it. Just so the poofiness of the roasting bag doesn't stay on the burner too long, because it will reach the burner probably until you flip it. But it might burn a little bit of the plastic off, and you'll have your hole anyway. But it won't harm your food, and you can't go past the safety recommendation is less than 500. Either that or don't go past 500, but I stay at 400 to be even safer, and that's usually my go-to of a temperature. And then when you put the raw drumsticks in, then you throw in the spices and the butter. But the butter has to be melted. I looked that part up because I've never put butter on it, but I thought it would help make it even more brown, even though it gets really brown anyway, the skin. Butter will even make it taste better and even brown every part of it if you rub it on it or baste it, because it has to be melted if you put it in the bags. If you don't use the Reynolds bag, I don't know why I keep saying rentals, but Reynolds oven roasting turkey bags, then you can put daubs of butter on. But why put daubs in it? It would probably be better if you rubbed it all over, even if you don't melt it. But if you put it in a Reynolds roasting bag, you gotta melt it first. I guess that's what their stipulations. Maybe not Reynolds, but other roasting bags in general need you to melt it. So I'd melt it for Reynolds too, to be on the safe side. Or just read the box that says on Reynolds roasting bags, because that's my recommendation, is the Reynolds It's the best one I've found. But you can use any kind you are used to. But just read the instructions on the bags that you get. Or if you don't get bags, you can just baste them without worrying about what the bag's gonna do. Duh. That's a no-brainer. But anyway, if you use the bag, you use melted butter. I've never used it, but I'm gonna try next time I can start cooking again when I get off the floor level. And that's explained in another video. If you're not familiar with that topic, just go backwards in my title should help you with find that. And the first one should tell you a lot about my condition. So anyway, that'll help you find some information that you might not know about yet if you're new. Start there. If you want to know more info, if it's already been covered, I'm trying not to repeat it to save time on the videos for the watchers and the listeners that have heard it before. And then put the spices. I use poultry seasoning and pepper. Shake that all on both sides and or in the bag itself, and not aiming for the legs, but then once you sprinkle it in there to your taste and your liking, make sure you handle the bag and just like coat the bag or coat the turkey from like moving the bag around the turkey. If you don't want to put it directly on the spices directly on the turkey in the bag, just get the amount that you want in the bag and then handle the bag so you're moving the bag around the turkey and rubbing it with your hands on the outside of the bag. Just make sure that the turkey legs get coated with your spices of choice. And then as far as temperature, I pick 400 to start with, but like I said, I don't do the preheat. So, keep the preheat in mind, but me without preheating, I do 400, and then I do an hour on one side, and pop the bag or make a hole in the top after flipping it, so the bag will catch some of the juice. But if you use the easy foil or a roaster pan, a traditional roaster pan instead of the easy foil, the pan will catch it too. If you don't have a bag or the juices fall out of the bag, the roaster will catch it, whichever kind you use. The traditional roaster that can go in an oven or the easy foil. But when you use the easy foil, make sure you put the lid there too, like you have a double layer, not just one, because those easy foils are very flimsy. So it comes with two pieces or two pans. You need to use two pans if it's the easy foil pan. So 400 for an hour on one side with the spices all over the drumsticks. And then flip it over. And then cut the bag at the top. And then have it so the puffiness of the bag is no longer there because it's got let out when you made the hole or cut the top off of the bag. And then cook it for another hour. And then if it's not to your liking, just keep going a little bit more. It should be fine though after 2 hours of cooking 2 drumsticks. And I'm not talking those little yum turkey legs, those piddly chicken leg size. If you're going to do Thanksgiving or a special feast or a special dinner, go for the big king size ones, the King Henry ones, or, the medieval king's size drumsticks, for the special occasion. And beware, if you've never had a turkey drumstick, I can't imagine any of my viewers never having one. But there's youngsters out there that might be watching too, I don't know. Or people that have never cooked them and don't know they have to take out what they call pin bones, and there's a lot of pin bones in drumsticks, so beware of those, because they could be bothersome, and they need to be taken out of the drumsticks once the meat is cooked, either by the person eating it or the person preparing it before they even take it out to the guests. Or if you're eating and preparing alone, you'll have to do it yourself, of course. That's also a no-brainer, but just beware of those if you're not already. But that's it for this one. And my helper should be here. She usually makes it back here. She starts at 1, but usually she starts at the grocery store, where I ever pick up groceries, rather than my place. She can start on the clock at her work from grocery stores, or any of the 4 other types of places they're allowed to go for me on the clock. She can go places for me off the clock, but then I have to pay off the clock errands that she's willing to do that her workplace doesn't have to pay for. Like restaurants. They don't allowed to go to restaurants on the clock of the company she's working for, but if I ask her and she's willing to go, I can have her go get me restaurant food when she's done working. And that's cool. And I have another friend that's willing to do that too, because I don't ask my helper to do a lot of extra stuff. But she doesn't have a lot of time of her own, so I just ask her to make sure she can do it once in a while, and she says she can. And I share with her or get her something to eat too, to say thank you. And sometimes I can give her gas money too, but they don't pay for her gas money either, which I wish they would, because all other agencies like this I've had to deal with, they gave percentage for gas mileage, and they let them go more places for the clients. So I think they should at least give them gas money, and this one deserves a raise and a vacation.